They say to surround yourself with the people who reflect what you want to be. During the beginning of my college experience, I surrounded myself with the wrong people. And this would inevitably dig me deeper into an already existing dark hole of emotion that I never thought I could climb out of. That was until I found APSA. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ben Etheridge. I'm a first-year chemistry major with emphasis in biochemistry, and I'll be running for the position of Executive Secretary for the 2023-2024 academic school year. Today I'll be discussing why I'm running for this position, what makes me qualified, and my future goals for APSA. So why am I running for this position? Well, like I mentioned earlier, I was in a very dark hole when APSA found me. But APSA became a catalyst that threw down a rope and pulled me out while I was trapped in this inescapable hole. And APSA did more than just pull me out. APSA molded a path for me to reach the highest point of my life. And because of this, I have found the people that I want to surround myself with. I have found the people that reflect what I want to be in the future. And that's all of you, the people of APSA. And I want to reciprocate what you all did for me, which is why I am running for this position. Now, what makes me qualified for the position of Executive Secretary? Well, outside of APSA, I have a significant amount of leadership experience. In high school, I was a linker leader where we would lead freshmen and help them feel more comfortable on campus, as well as being on the board for a medical club. And outside of that, I was the team captain for my competitive gymnastics team, where I would continually act as a liaison between the team and the coaches when there were conflicts. And that extended as far as me becoming the coach for that competitive team for the past couple months ago. And now inside of APSA, I was a FAM head at HSC. I helped host the E-Square GBM. I'm going to be volunteering at FTS. I also helped host the Valorant tournament, and I've successfully completed all the shadow requirements, and I participated at capstones. Through all of these, I attained the insight and information about what it takes to be on board. And now moving on to my goals and aspirations. First, I want to maintain the current organizational system of information and find ways to build upon it. For the board, my goal is to make information flow proceed as smoothly as possible and create an easy and accessible system for all the board members to access any information. Also, I want to build upon the officer reports and find ways to improve them. Having done the officer reports, I have seen a couple ways to improve them, mainly in the committee reports. I believe that I can make it more organized and simpler. I would also like to expand upon the current office hours that are in place. As a GBMer, I didn't know about these until I started my shadow requirements, and I think it would be extremely beneficial for GBMers to know the schedule of which officer is in the office. This is especially useful if members need to voice concerns or purchase something, but they're unaware if there is a board member in the office. And this could extend as far as GBMers only wanting to talk to a certain board member they are comfortable with, but not knowing when they will see that board member or if they are in the office at this time. And speaking from personal experience, it also feels as though the club is a little rough to join except for this beginning of the semester, and by organizing the information of the events and bolstering the board members around me and volunteering when I'm needed, I believe that we could collectively make the board combined. Thank you.
As Executive Secretary, an Executive Secretary plays an integral role to any executive board. Beyond taking the minutes, what is the role of the Executive Secretary, and what is the most important quality behind a successful secretary?
So beyond just taking the minutes, the role of the Executive Secretary is to organize all the information, past information, current information, and future information regarding all the events, as well as hold and keep record of the APSA archives and update the event calendar. And the most important trait of an Executive Secretary is efficiency. An Executive Secretary must be efficient at organizing, efficient at communicating, and efficient at typing in order to not fall behind while taking the minutes, because if you fall behind, you can miss important information that could drastically change an event.
As Executive Secretary, the work you put into your duties directly affects board meetings. How will you aid in productivity and efficient board meetings?
So I'll help aid productive board meetings by making sure that board members complete their officer reports before the meeting and having the minutes completely finished and organized before the meeting, and being able to just have a smooth transition from each topic and be able to keep track of the information efficiently.
The Executive Secretary position is not responsible for coordinating any big events like some of the other positions. Knowing this, how will you expand upon your role beyond what is stated in your bylaws?
So I plan to expand upon the role of Executive Secretary beyond what's stated in the bylaws by being one of the first people to volunteer. Because Executive Secretary doesn't have any big events to plan for, they could be seen as a more open position. So if someone needs to step in, if someone needs help, or if like if I need to go get food or anything, I will be the first one to volunteer every single time. And also the FAMs. I would also expand this role through the FAM system and encourage GBMers to come, or specifically the kids, to come out to events and advertise events to them and make sure that they stay involved and active.